Okay, the recording has started. Let me share my screen to you. Okay, screen is shared. Okay. Alright, so according to last week, how I demonstrated to everybody about 2 weeks ago, kinesthetics animation. So we're going to do a simple kinesthetic animation. Make sure you open up your Windows, Creative Cloud window desktop. Make sure you look for After Effects. You may have a few versions. Just go ahead and pick the latest one. Just pick for anyone that could open. They all work the same. It's just different update. The older they are, the layout is going to look a little bit different. Your layout may look a little bit different, or so more so the same as mine. If it is slightly different, just try to track down certain icon. You just need to identify certain icon. The goal is for you to, as you create your animation, get familiar with all the icon and tools that's available for you for the program. So all I said, you're gonna go ahead and open up the After Effects program. So once it load up, you're gonna notice there's this really big window right here that kind of obscures your entire. Don't panic. All you have to do, if you can move it, you could close it without closing the whole thing. If it's gonna close the whole thing, it will give you a signal. This is my account, my personal account, my personal software that I have at home. So mine's probably have a little bit more. So I'm thinking the school may have more stuff than mine at home. So once we open, here's your plug, play, skip, and rewind all up here. So you're going to be looking at it. The one in the past that I have in the past, it was down here, over here. This version, they put it up here. The 23.9.6 that I haven't once upon a time in the past, it's down here for me. For now, we're gonna have to use it because the layout, Adobe decided to put it over here. So moving on, starting our project, you're going to click on new composition. Click on that, and then you're gonna create a title. I'm gonna title mine the arts. Let's do this. Okay, let's do this. Make sure you put a underscore underneath it. It's easier to identify this way for After Effects. Sometimes I forget, but I will recommend everybody doing this. In After Effects, it's highly recommended that you use underscore. My title will be on the arts. The underscore will represent a space. You're gonna go to preset. Later on, you're gonna go to preset right here. We're not gonna touch any of these. We're just gonna go for the basics. We're not even gonna bother with the advanced. Once you get more years in After Effects, you could start messing around with some of these. They're really cool, but they're the knowledge that you need to know how to make it work to better your artwork. You're gonna need a few years practicing on it. For now, we're gonna follow with the basics. So I will prefer everybody to choose this. Yours may look like kind of like this, 29.97 frame per second. I would prefer you to just go to HD 1080p, 1920 by 1080p, 24 frame per second. We were exercising in the past about with 12 frames per second. Now we're moving on to those of you who are working with After Effects. You're actually working on 24 frames per second now. We're doubling it, and we're looking forward to make our animation more smoother. Same thing with the puppet animation that everybody will be animating. They will be working with 24 frames per second instead of 12 frames per second. This project is going to take a little bit longer than usual, but as everybody could see, the animation is going to become a lot more smoother. Next, double check, make sure everything ratio is locked. Everything is locked. Square pixels, 24 frames per second is down here, full screen. This is very tricky. Most of you have, I believe, looks kind of like this instead. 30 second. So this is your second, okay? This is your starting second. You're gonna start at 0, 0, 0, 0. So you're gonna start at 0 frame, 0 seconds, and 0 minute, 0 hour. So right here, it always goes with frames, and then we will always go with second and then minutes over here. So always remember frame before second. If you look at a hierarchy, frame makes up second, second makes up minute, minutes make up hours. After Effects doesn't go more than 10 minutes. If it goes anything beyond 5 minutes, it's starting to have a toll on the or use up a lot of RAM, and then the system tend to slow down. So we're gonna peak. We're gonna create hours at 5 minutes. So we're gonna you're gonna go over here past the 30, and then you should have about 2. If you're looking at digit, you should look at 2 digit here, 4 digit, and then there's this double colon down here. You should be at the second colon. Okay, so it should be, if you're really specific, 0.5. That you should have. That would guarantee that you have about 5 minutes. You can move the arrow key a little bit right here. I want you to delete that 3, and then put a 0 there. So keep in mind that you're going to be about, let's change this to 5 frame. Okay, so keep in mind of this, you're going to be stretching this video 5 minutes and 5 frame. So remember, these are the frame down here, so we are actually going to stretch this 5 more frame plus the 5 minutes. So you have this extra 5 frame to kind of cool your video down. So think of it as a cool down when a show ends. It doesn't just cut off. It has a phase to black, and then it gives a few seconds or a few frames for everybody to calm their mind down. So double check, make sure you have a title. Make sure you select a 24 frame. We're gonna run 24 frame only, because that's where our level is at. Make sure all these 24 frame rate, full size. Don't select any of the other of these. If you go half quarter, it's gonna cut off the real estate. You're gonna see half of it, or not. You want to see the whole thing. So here we go. Once we have all this set up, so your setup should look like mine. So we're gonna run this pace for the time being. Once we're gonna keep black, because it's we're gonna do a lot of fade in, fade out. So we're gonna be using that background color as much as we can. So press enter, or okay. So as you can tell, this is your main frame right here. You could tell, here you go, your timeline 5 seconds. So if you hover it, you could see the minute jump right here. Alright, you notice that. Also, when I get to the 2 right here, it's actually 2 minutes and 1 frame right here, and I'm around this 2 right here. Okay. Notice the S represents second. However, they don't show us any minutes. Adobe, it's more, After Effects is more for special effects. We're gonna create a couple of special effects. We're gonna create a simple special effects, fading and fade out, and overlapping and transparency. That's all we're working on, and we'll also be moving the image back and forth. If you look up on YouTube and you decided to and you pick up a couple and you learn a couple of tricks in there, go ahead and use that in Photoshop and After Effects as well too, and see how it improve your animation. I encourage you a lot to experiment a lot and do a couple of research and look it up, see how it looks like, and use it here. All right, all that's said and done. Next, you're gonna be opening. You're gonna go here. You're gonna open up your photo. Okay, this is very important for your photo. Do not drag and drop into the main frame or down here. It may get corrupted because After Effects have to do multiple renderings and multiple adjustment for you. So I will recommend you do it appropriately. For me, I'm gonna do a quick transition of walking trail. All right. So I'm gonna pick my first image right here. So a trail. You always want to put your library up here first. Once you put your asset, this is where you store up all your asset. It will not notice that when you put it up here, it's not in use. So if you drop in here, it's gonna produce here, and it's gonna produce another asset. That means you're forcing it to use most of your asset up here is going to remain here. These are almost like as if you're layered when we were working on Photoshop. However, we have to manually in Photoshop everything produce at the same time, but this right here you have to manually move the asset over and place it here. And then if you notice that if you zoom out, let me see if I could get zoom out. If you press Z, yes. If you press Z and then you click and hold the left mouse, right? You could zoom in and out. Okay. So it's always this way. So if you hold down Z, this little icon will come up. That means the little glass will, the little magnifying glasses will come up. Or if you don't want to do, if you're not sure, if you're not comfortable with the hotkey, you could go over here and click the zoom key, and you could zoom in and out. Okay. For now, if you're not used to using the hotkey, go ahead and use this icon off here. So here's your zoom, here's your hand tools where you can move around. Okay. The hotkey for hand tools are spacebar. Just press down and hold on spacebar. Be very careful because sometimes if you just press spacebar one time, your it will think that you want to play your video. So notice that my video is playing right now when you click on spacebar one time. So be very careful not to when you're about to press a button, just be mindful of what you are doing. So as we can see, my image is quite big, so I'm going to start right here, and you know what, I'm going to shrink it a little bit. Let me shrink it a little bit. So notice how big my image, these tip to tip here, that's how big my image is. So in order to shrink it, let's just say I don't want it to be that big. If I want to shrink it, I'm going to grab it and I'm going to start shrinking it. Once I start moving it just like this, what you want to do is you want to press and hold down shift. It will make it exact. It will square. Everything will be symmetrical. I will shrink it symmetrically, and I'll have everything will shrink evenly. So now I could hold down Z, zoom in a little bit. So your image that you'll be seeing right here, your image, this is what when we render it out, this is going to be your what you see. Everything the black the black space, or you're not going to see that. This is where you hide all your other asset that you don't want it to see. This is your window, your view window. Okay. So let's say I wanted to do this right here. Okay. So now we can start animating. So we're gonna do a transition, a moving picture. So what you want to do is you want to this little icon over here. You want to click on that, and then you want to go to right here, transform. You want to press that. So if you decide to do all your animation, you decide to reset, you really don't want, just press reset. Everything should go back to normal. It will just delete everything that you have done, and it is permanent once you press that, I believe. Over here now I want my picture to move. So you're gonna go to position, you're gonna click on position one time. It's gonna start anchoring your picture by default. And for, let's just say for 6 minutes, let's just say 6 seconds, sorry, 6 seconds, I want it to move like that. Okay, for 6 seconds. Okay, if I press play over here, 6 seconds, it's going to move. So be aware that we are moving about 24 frames per second. So we're doubling it. It is going to be really fast. Okay, it is going to be really fast. Also, your timeline up here as well too. Your picture timeline up here. You have a picture timeline. You could actually determine your picture timeline, how far it can stretch back and forth. Okay. So I will recommend everybody zoom out, have a full range of what your image. You can see the whole timeline. Over here you can shrink I can shrink this time, how long it can be. So I don't want it to pop out. I don't want it to stretch any longer than this. So I will, if you hold down shift, it will snap to any point that you have left. So let's just say I want to stop right here. I kind of want to stop. I want my image to stop about right here. So if I hold down shift, it will snap to my cursor right here, my timer indicator, meaning where I'm viewing the time that I am viewing right now. So here we go. So let's just say it's gonna move, and as I move, you can see this right here very, very lightly. You can see this little icon moving back and forth. Okay. So once I get here, I want it to fade. I want it to fade to black right here. Opacity is what you're gonna need to do. Is you're gonna press on opacity. It's gonna start at 100%. You can see visibly as I move all the way past it. Okay, to black over here. And then I want to phase it to 0 as well too. So if I zoom in, you're gonna notice all these points right here. And yes, these points you could move them. So once you move them, they're gonna be at a different point. That means that the location where it's gonna be moving. So if I was to move this a little bit tighter over here, it's going to stop sooner. Okay. So if I press play over here, and then it's going to fade to black. There you go. Just like that. Okay. So this is what I wanted to do for this image only, and then I could overlap with with another image that I want to show even more. Let's just say I want to show this part right here. Okay, I'm gonna grab this asset. I'm gonna drop it in here. Okay, One thing I like about this is that they give you a little preview of your asset, which one you really want to use. I want to use this one next. So it's going to be underneath it. I'm going to zoom this out again. And I don't want this to be that long. So I want it to be a little bit under here. You could leave it by default. Okay, Control Z. You can leave it by default how far you want your. I usually use this to indicate, right? To indicate. So if I was to, I just want a good 15 second. Let's just say 15 seconds to show all I need to show. No, let's do 10 sec. Actually, yeah, let's do 15 second. Let's do 15. 15 second. There you go. Just hold down shift, and then when I move it, it'll snap into the 15-second mark. So just by placing it behind it, I automatically have a transition already when I press play. My first layer fades out. My second layer comes in. Just like that. Music. If we want to put music in it, let's just say I got music here somewhere. Okay. I think I should put this somewhere where I could see it better. Okay, I'm gonna put this over here. Okay, music. Let's see here. Okay, I want to put this music. I hope anyone could hear it. Okay, let's see here. If I could. Oh, this is so difficult. Okay, I'll put that up there a little bit. I'll drag this right here, right? This music. I'll drop it right into my library, right there. Okay, and then I could drop my music here. One thing about music is that I will want to color code my music differently. The code, very you really want to color code your music. I'm gonna color code my music green. Everything else will be asset. Will be the asset that I'll be using a lot. I'm gonna make them all yellow. Cause you wanna code it. You wanna color code them. You don't want to get them confused with each other. You want to keep them consistent. So these are the color over here. You could assign color to them anyway. I will always assign color. So when you press play, right, the music will go. So I'm not sure if you could hear that song, but I will show this video to everybody in class as well too later as well. But the music will keep playing. I would just keep this music right here as is. I'm not going to stretch it. I'm not. You can't really stretch music. That's one thing about audio. You cannot really stretch audio. Okay, so if you want to rearrange and you don't want the music to confuse you, you want to keep the music organized. The biggest part when you start packing, uploading and putting a lot of images together, you have to keep track of all your images, especially image timeline. Titling it is best because later on when you have thousands of them, hundreds of them, you want to keep them organized. You want to name them appropriately. So let's just say if I want to start shifting over and adding more footage, let's just say I want to add this footage in there, right here. This is kind of like an artwork with one of my colleagues a long time ago. This one here, I will see you could rearrange it. It's not going to change anything. As long as I don't drop this on top, if I do drop that on top, notice that you override everything. So I just wanted to drop it over here, and I don't want it to phase that I wanted to phase somewhere around there. So now I could start animating here where I'm gonna pick this one here. So this current. I want to do a opacity fade in, fade out on this part. You don't have to, but I usually do. I will fade this to 0 right there, and then I will now select my image here. I'm going to shrink it. Press down shift and I'm going to shrink it. Maybe I'll keep it. I'll keep it. Okay, I'm going to do sizing. Okay, I'm going to do some sizing. So as it fades to, so now I'll be working two things at once. So I have one animation moving, so the top layer is moving and fading. The second layer is going to pop in. It's going to phase out right here. It's going to phase out. My third layer, so I'm going to close this and I'm going to open up my third layer. Okay. Okay. We're going to work on scale. So as it review my layers here, okay, once my layers start to being revealed, I'm going to work on the scale. So as it comes, and then it's a good, okay, let's just say I'm going to start, let's just say I'm going to end at, I don't know, I'll do 15. When it's at 15, I'll do not too long. I'll give about a good 4 seconds on it. Okay, so scale, it is how big and how small. So it's going to shrink. Here you go. I notice that when I start messing with the scale, and then, okay, I'm going to undo this. So the moment I start messing with the scale like this, you could see that there's the point has been, the knob has been created right there. We usually call this a knob. Some artists, they call it a point. So once they start creating it, once it have created the point, as I scale, my hand is still holding on to my mouse. I'm gonna press shift. Right, I'm going to press shift and hold shift, and then I'm going to scale just a little bit right there. Okay. So once I get to the point where I really want, then I'll let go of I'll let go of my mouse first before I let go of I'll unclick before I let go of shift to stop the to make sure that my shrinkage is symmetrical. So now if I go back and I will press play and listen to it. So even right here, once I get here, if this looks like, oh, it looks so cool, I want to start fading this one out. So if you want to start fading it out right here, I would, just like everybody, how everybody will feel, I'm going to click on the opacity and then I'll determine how many seconds. So I'm starting at 21, so we're looking at 21 seconds. So let's just say at 25 seconds, I want to give 4 seconds for it to phase out. So I'll press and hold the shift key and I'll snap this timeline to end it right there. Okay, and that right there, because since I started the animation of the timeline for opacity, I'll put it all the way down to 0 right there. Okay, and then you go back and press play again and watch it again. And that's it. That's the first. That's that's what you be using all your assets to create an illusion, promoting your and creating an agenda and making your animation a normal picture into a timeline, into a story that you want to tell through music, sound, and through moving pictures. If you have any questions, make sure you ask me to clarify, and I'll be glad to help you out and have fun. And if you're not sure about anything and I have covered or some of the instructions not clear, you could rewind and rewatch this a couple of times. So what I'm showing you it is what we are going to be using these techniques over and over. So these techniques will repeat, or vice versa. It will you can use it randomly throughout the entire 5 minutes. So you have 5 minutes of creating these type of contents. Again, just a reminder, make sure you keep all your assets color coded at the same time. Make sure you title it in a way where you know and you could identify your asset. All right. Good luck and have fun.